I'm going to show you how to fold 4 unique paper airplanes using methods of origami. So we're going to be using plain old printer paper to create these. Don't need anything special. And there's no tape or staples or anything that's going to be required for this. It's a great way to incorporate engineering into your art practice. So we can talk about how paper airplanes can demonstrate drag, lift, thrust, and gravity. And you could go further and look at airplanes and how the wing design allows planes to fly because the air takes longer to go over the top, so it's thinner, which allows for the lift of the airplane. When I do this in my classroom setting, sometimes we'll do one airplane, go outside and experiment with it, see how long it stays aloft, how far it will fly, or you can do all 4 airplanes and then take the second day to go outside and do some experimentation and have some fun. So the 2 of the easiest one is the Trickster airplane, which can do flips and twirls and all sorts of interesting things. And this one I call the Bishop's hat. These 2 are a little bit more advanced, but you can pause and review this video in order to get these. So I will do my best to make it easy for you to fold along. So let me clear off my space and let's get started. This is also a good opportunity to recycle old paper too, so it doesn't matter if there's printing on it. But when I do have my students work on this, I have them write their names on their papers. So at the end of the day, if there are some airplanes that didn't get picked up, I tell them if I find their name on it, they get a demotion for that, for polluting and leaving trash behind. So we're going to start with the Bishop's hat, which is probably the easiest one to do. And our first fold is actually going to be from corner to corner across the paper. And all we want to do is start at one corner and meet at the other corner and then fold straight across. And it kind of makes it look like 2 mountains. And then about the thickness of a pencil, we're going to fold up. It's almost like rolling up a little bit. So just about the thickness of a pencil, and I go ahead and fold that. I'm going to do that one more time. And then a third time. These are very thin folds. Nothing is really exact. Anything will sort of work this way. And now we have what kind of looks like a hat. We got the brim and we got the 2 folds up the top. Now we need to bend this. Sometimes by pressing it over the edge of a table can kind of put the curve bend in it, or you can just do it with your hands. So just by pressing out and pulling on the paper, we're going to start to put a curve into this edge, and that's what we need to create a circle. So we weaken the paper a little bit by doing that. We bring the 2 ends over and we cross them over each other, almost like folding arms. We're going to take one side and just kind of tuck it under the edge. I'll take this, tuck it under, and then the other edge, I'm going to first fold it away from the plane. And then I'm going to bend it up, and I'm going to tuck it under the edge. That just kind of weakens the paper there, but it also now tucks it in so it's firm. And then I look at the top of it and I try and make it look like a circle. Just bending and turning. And now we have the Bishop's hat airplane. Now, this one doesn't fly like you normally would think, where you could just take it and throw it that way. Actually, the best way to throw this one is to make a V with your fingers and put it in the V of the Bishop's hat. And then you throw it this way, letting go at a 45-degree angle to the earth, and it will fly off. So you can throw this really, really hard and it will go across a room or outside across a field. It goes very far. The reason it works is because the weight is in the front and then the tails are behind. You'll notice that every good paper airplane has weight towards the front and then wings behind it. And it doesn't really matter what the shapes of the wings are, that will fly really well. Our next one is probably my most favorite one and the favorite one of students, and that is the Trickster airplane, because this will do loops and flips and all sorts of unusual things, and every way that you position the wings will give you a different result. So for this one, we're going to fold the short side to the long side, making it match in a corner. So I'm looking at the corner, and then I look that the side is matching, and then I go ahead and fold down. Next, I'm going to take this corner and fold it over to this corner. And I'm going to press down. I'm going to turn my figure so that it's pointing down, and I'm going to fold the right side to the left side so I get a crease down the middle. We need to find where that halfway mark is. So it's folded in half, and I press down. You'll notice when I'm pressing pretty hard. I want to make sure that my creases are really good. And now I open this back up. You're going to notice that there's this funky little leaf in here. That helps give the Trickster its tricks. So go ahead and just, for now, let's leave that off to the side. Now we're going to take the point of the airplane and fold it back here. So we're going from this point to this point. And you have that fold in the middle so you can make sure that your plane is folded in half there. Now we're going to take the whole thing and fold it in half. And we have two sides, two wings for this particular airplane. Technically, there's a third one, but we're going to ignore that. We're going to treat it as though it was one. So the next fold is going to be to fold from this corner to the center, but we need to do it on one side only. So I'm going to fold from this corner to here. So I'm going to just push my finger in the middle here to kind of help give it a little hinge. And you notice I'm ignoring the back one. Fold that corner over. So that's what I care about. From this corner to this corner. And then I just kind of press what's behind it. I turn it over and I repeat it. So now I can take this corner and bring it over to here. And it's going to sort of match what's behind. Now I'm going to take this edge of the wing. Remember, there are two, so we're going to do one at a time. I'm going to fold this edge of the wing over and just about an inch, thickness of a thumb. That should be good. Okay, I'm going to flip it over. We're going to do the same, and we're just going to match. Now remember, you get that extra little wing. We're going to ignore it and fold all of this over, and we're matching what's behind it. Now our airplane is done. So we can open it up this way. You're going to hold it from under here. Okay. And we have that third wing. So we want to kind of pop that little wing up a little bit. Now, as you're looking from the back, like if I'm throwing it, this is going to be my view. These little wings here, you can make them go down and try and throw it. You can make them go up a little bit and try and throw it. You can make these foils out here go outward. It'll fly differently. You can press them inward and that'll fly differently. You can have one in and one out. So this has a lot of versatility in the way that it flies. So all you do is you just hold it from underneath here and you throw it as hard as you can. You could try throwing up, try throwing down. It may even loop around. So this is a very unusual plane that has some great fun with flying. Right, our next one is a glider. So this is not a fast plane. It's actually a rather slow one, but I think this one used to hold the world record for the longest flight because it glides so well. It's an amazing plane, but it's got all of this weight kind of concentrated in the front underneath it, and that's actually where you're gonna hold it to throw it. And you don't really throw this one hard. You just kind of go with a little bit of practice, you can kind of get that to work. So it starts very similarly to the last one. We're gonna fold the short side over to the long side, making it meet in a corner. Then we're gonna open it and do the same in the opposite direction. So now we're going to fold this short side to the long side. And we have kind of an X on the paper. We're going to turn it over, and you're going to fold the corners of the X together by just kind of folding this over. You're going to make those corners of the X meet. So there's one corner there, one corner there, and we fold that flat. We open it up and we have to turn it back over. You're going to see that this pops up a bit, so you just press it down, and you can see these corners kind of pop up now. And we're just going to bring the paper over, and these corners are going to come together as you fold it over. And it's going to almost look like a house shape. If you did it correctly, you'll have 2 wings on this side and 2 wings on this side. We'll go ahead and press that down. So as we look at it from a house shape, we're going to take just the top layer and we're going to fold it to the top. So from the edge of the roof to the top of the roof. Press that down, the edge of the roof to the top of the roof. Now we're going to do this again by folding this edge to the center. And it's going to make like a kite shape. And again, this side to the center. And now we have a kite shape on the top of the roof. We're going to take the top half of the kite right from this line and fold it on down. And this gives us a funny little triangle or diamond kind of shape. So now we have to take these sides out. So we can open that up. We're going to fold this back down. In the sides here, just under the top, there's a pocket on the right and a pocket on the left. We're going to take these little doors now and we're going to slip them into the pockets. One, find the pocket, and then you're going to take this tip and put it in the pocket. So you do have to kind of bend it over to make the tip go down in there, and then you press it flat. So that's a little bit challenging, but again, you can review the video so that you could see how that is folded. If you have a neighbor next to you who did it right, maybe your neighbors can help each other. Now we're going to take this whole figure, we're almost done, and turn it over. And we're going to make a long line that's going to connect from the top of the roof to the bottom of the building. So it kind of looks like a little house again. So we're going to fold this over from, or make a point here, and then a point down here. And then we fold that straight across. I'm going to do that again on this side. So we need to fold this edge over so that this corner and this corner have a line going to them. All right, we're almost there. Now we're going to take these little wing parts and we're going to fold them in half going outward. So I'm going to take this inside edge and fold it to the outside edge. It's a teeny tiny skinny fold. Same thing on the other side, the inside edge to the outside edge. And we can just kind of puff it up a little bit. Puff it up a little bit. So this becomes our airplane. And again, you hold it from the triangle underneath. So you hold it here, and then as we throw it, you throw it this direction. So we go that way. But you don't throw it really hard. You want to give this a soft throw, and it's kind of straightforward as opposed to up. It'll take a little bit of practice in throwing this to make it work really well, but you'll see that it is an amazing glider. Wind will affect this one quite a bit. So try throwing it into the wind, away from the wind, and see which way it goes further. Our fourth paper airplane is actually just a variation of this one. So we're going to take this airplane that we've created and we're just going to fold it in half. Hide all that stuff in there and fold it in half. Now we've got two wings again. We're going to fold this upper edge to the bottom edge. And remember, you're only folding one wing. Don't try and fold two. So this is pretty thick up here, so you're going to have to kind of bend it first to get the paper to want to bend over. And then we can bring this edge to this edge. Turn it over. Again, this is really thick, so it doesn't really want to fold, so you're going to have to kind of bend it a bit, weaken the paper, and now I can bring this edge to the bottom edge. Now as a glider, you had to throw this one very softly, but now this is almost like a jet. I call it a cicada because to me it looks like a bit of a bug, like the cicada bug, and you hold it underneath, and this one you can throw very, very hard and you'll get a great result from it. This one will go really far. Okay, so now you've got your 4 paper airplanes and you can go outside and give them a try. But please, don't litter. Make sure your name is on your airplane so you can figure out whose is whose, because they all kind of look like the same. So put your initial or your name on it so that at the end of the day, we don't have any garbage outside.